What if the US government opened an investment account for your kid and put money in it before they could even walk? That's already happening. It's called a Trump account, and depending on how you use it, it could be worth a few $1,000s by 18, or millions by retirement. Today, exactly how Trump accounts work, the real math behind compound growth starting at birth, and why the gap between a family that contributes every year and a family that does nothing is almost too big to believe. Trump accounts were created by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, signed into law on July 4, 2025, and they officially launch for enrollment on July 4, 2026. The IRS describes them as a new type of traditional individual retirement account, specifically for kids. Here's who qualifies. Your child needs to be born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028, be a U.S. citizen, and have a Social Security number. If your child checks those boxes, the U.S. Treasury will deposit a one-time $1,000 seed contribution into their account for free. You don't have to put in a dime for that first $1,000 to land. You just have to open the account and file the election, either through Form 4547 or directly at trumpaccounts.gov before your child's 18th birthday. One important rule: only one Trump account per child, and only one adult, usually a parent or legal guardian, can make that initial election. The $1,000 is just the starting point. This is where it gets interesting. From birth until December 31st of the year, your child turns 17. What the rules call the growth period, family, friends, or literally anyone can contribute up to $5,000 per year, per child. That cap is indexed to inflation starting in 2027, so it'll likely creep up over time. Employers can chip in too. A company can contribute up to $2,500 a year per employee's child. And here's the kicker: that money isn't counted as taxable income to the parent. Some employers can even run it through a pre-tax cafeteria plan. So realistically, a family that's intentional about this could be depositing the full $5,000 every single year for 18 years straight. Unlike a normal brokerage account, you don't get to pick individual stocks here. By law, Trump account money has to go into a low-cost mutual fund, or ETF, that tracks a broad U.S. stock index. Think something like the S&P 500. Fees are capped at 0.1% a year, there's no leverage allowed, and no sector-specific betting. It's about as close to boring, diversified, get-rich-slowly investing as the government could design. That's actually a feature, not a bug. It means every kid's account grows the same simple way millions of retirement accounts already grow, by riding the overall stock market over time. Money in a Trump account grows completely tax-deferred, no annual tax bill on the gains. But you can't touch it during the growth period. No withdrawals are allowed before the account holder turns 18, except in the case of death or refund of an excess contribution. Once your kid turns 18, the account essentially becomes a traditional IRA. That means withdrawals are taxed as regular income. Pull money out before age 59 and a half, and you'll generally owe a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Though there are carve-outs for things like a first home purchase, education expenses, or starting a business. And here's a smart move a lot of financial planners are already talking about. At 18, your kid can convert the account into a Roth IRA. Since an 18-year-old is usually in a very low tax bracket, they'd pay a small amount of tax now in exchange for that money growing completely tax-free for the rest of their life. Here's the part of this video that actually matters more than any of the rules we just covered. Because rules can change, but math doesn't. Let's run 3 scenarios. For all of them, I'm assuming a historical average stock market return of about 8% a year. That's not guaranteed. Markets go up and down, and this is a simplified illustration, not a promise. But it's a reasonable long-term average to use for a projection like this. Scenario 1, the do-nothing family. The government deposits the $1,000. The parents never add another dollar. That $1,000 left alone and invested from birth grows to roughly $4,000 by the time the kid turns 18. If they never touch it and just let it keep compounding all the way to age 65, that $1,000 alone turns into about $148,000. Let that sink in. A single deposit made before this kid could talk turns into 6 figures just by staying invested for 65 years and never being touched. Scenario 2. The family that shows up every year. Same $1,000 seed. But now the parents, or grandparents, or an employer contribute the full $5,000 every single year from birth through age 17. That's $90,000 total put in over 18 years. By the time that kid turns 18, the account isn't worth $90,000. It's worth roughly $206,000. Because it's been compounding the whole time contributions were going in. Now, if that 18-year-old does nothing else, never adds another dollar, just leaves it invested until retirement at 65, that account grows to approximately $7.7 million. $7.6 million in growth on $90,000 of actual contributions. That's the power of starting at literally day one instead of day one of your career. Scenario 3. The no account family. No Trump account opened, no investing. That money, if it ever existed at all, just gets spent or maybe sits in a drawer. Value at retirement, 0. Even if that same $1,000 had just been left in a basic savings account, earning 2% instead of being invested, it would only grow to about $3,600 by age 65, a fraction of what investing had produced. Say someone gets no head start at all, no Trump account, no seed money, and instead starts investing $5,000 a year at age 30, all the way to 65. That's 35 years of real discipline. At the same 8% return, they'd end up with about $930,000. Great outcome. Genuinely. Keep doing that if that's you. But compare it to the kid whose family just used the Trump account and contributed the max for 18 years, then walked away. $7.7 million. To catch up starting at 30, that late starter would need to invest over $41,000 every single year for 35 years straight. The advantage isn't how much money goes in. It's how many years it gets to compound. If you have a child born between 2025 and 2028, opening this account costs nothing and takes a few minutes at trumpaccounts.gov. Free money invested automatically in a low-fee index fund. No real downside to claiming the $1,000. Contributing every year after that is a bigger decision, one that depends on your budget and your goals. But the math is the math. Money invested at birth has more time to compound than money invested at any other point in that child's life. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, and everything in this video is for educational purposes, using projected hypothetical returns. Actual investment results will vary, markets carry risk, and you should talk to a qualified professional before making decisions for your family. Rules for Trump accounts are also still being finalized by the IRS, so double-check trumpaccounts.gov for the latest details before you enroll. And if this broke it down in a way that actually made sense, subscribe. I cover stuff like this every week. And drop a comment. Are you opening one of these for your kid?